Hare Krishna, everyone. Dandavat Pranam to all. And we have launched this Krishna Ratri program from Radha Gopinath Circle, ISKCON Narasimha Giridhari Mandir, Bangalore. So we are very happy to welcome His Grace Sarvesvara Sundara Das. And I will just introduce Prabhu. Last year also Prabhu was kind enough to give his association. We were really thrilled by his pravachan. And this year also Prabhu has agreed to join us. Thank you so much, Prabhu. A small brief about Prabhu. Is a medical doctor by profession and joined ISKCON Guntur as a full-time brahmachari in 2018. And Prabhuji also got Harinam Diksha. That is the first initiation. And also Prabhuji has got second initiation Brahmana Diksha by our beloved Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. And he, out of his deep desire to study Shastras, he completed his Bhakti Shastri and other short courses like TTC and Bhakti Shastri, TTC, etc. In the sense, Prabhuji is qualified to train teachers to teach for Bhakti Shastri programs. And this is from Mayapur Institute. And Bhakti Vaibhava and Bhakti Sandarbha from IBMB got them. Now is Prabhuji is serving in ISKCON Tirupati. Prabhu is a basically medical caregiver for all the wonderful devotees. He is a youth preacher and he is also pujari because he has taken Brahmana Diksha also. And most importantly, he is personal secretary to His Grace Raviti Raman Prabhuji. He is the temple president and GBC. And recently, Raviti Raman Prabhu has been endowed with Guru by our Guru Maharaj. So Raviti Raman Prabhu can give initiations. Then also our Sarveshwar Shamsundar Prabhu, online course coordinator, come facilitator to Mayapur Institute. And recently he started pursuing his Bhakti Vedanta also. So such a learned scholar in Krishna consciousness. We have his association today. So over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. Dandavat Pranam. All goes to Sri Prabhupada. Hope everybody are doing good. So, thank you so much for inviting me for the Krishna Ratri series. I'm so delighted to be here in the wonderful association of all the devotees. And yeah, before beginning, also today, so also the Material Friendship Day. So, even though we don't celebrate, but I just want to wish everyone happy Krishna Conscious Friendship Day. So, I pray that all the devotees develop nice friendly relationships with the devotees. Kasratu Goswami says in the top instruction that Shadvidam Priti Lakshana. Okay, so we should have nice relationships with all the devotees so that we all can engage in the service of the Lord. Okay, so yeah, today I'm going to speak on a very important pastime. Okay, let me share my screen. Prabhuji, can you allow the co-host also to share the screen?
Yeah, Prabhu. You have been our
Yes.
co-host, two
No, but
devices
it's
you
not.
logged in.
Yeah.
Just a moment.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Can you
logged
make
into.
my iPad, Prabhuji, iPad as the co-host?
Yeah, both I made co-host. Is it all
Okay.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yes. Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, Prabhu. So quite visual your PPT.
Okay. Today, I'm going to speak on a very important pastime that Krishna chastises the serpent Kaliya or subduing the serpent Kaliya. So it's a very important story because there's so many lessons to be learned from this pastime. So first, I would like to give a small prelude to this story before discussing the story. Yeah. So Proji, and before beginning, okay, first of all, let me have some praise and support. Om Advanati in the Signal against my section and my state of the Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna 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 Dr. Vedanta Swami Nami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prasad Nidhi Sesha Samala Prasad Swami Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna. So, dear devotees, today I'm going to speak on this pastime where I am referring to different, I have referred to different scriptures. So I'm going to share some information which is an amalgamation of Srimad Bhagavatam and also some content from Garga Samhita. Okay, because some additional points, because everybody knows Kaliya pastime, everybody has seen, and went to Vrindavan and visited this Kaliya Ghat or Kaliya Dahar Lake, where Krishna performed this pastime. And also, many people have read from the Krishna book as well. But I want to add some additional points, okay, from the Garga Samhita as well, because there's a nice description of this pastime, the Garga Samhita, and also some additional points from the Acharya's commentaries. Okay, only the important points. I don't want to go too deep into it and confuse you all the people. It's just the main important points and what lessons we can learn from this pastime. Okay, so a little prelude to Kaliya pastime is that in the Swayambhu Manvantara, there is a great sage. His name is Vedasira Muni. Okay, this Vedasira Muni is performing austerities in um, Vindhyachala Hills. Okay. One time, what happens is another sage, his name is Ashvasira Muni. Little bit confusing, but try to remember Vedasira and Ashvasira. I also mentioned in the slide as well. Okay, this Ashvasira Muni visits the ashram of Vedasira Muni, and he also wants to perform austerities over there. Then Vedasira Muni gets little upset and angry. Oh, Muni, why are you coming? Why have you come to my place? Okay, because I'm already doing my austerities here in this place. So you go and find some other place. Can't you find any some other place? So like that, he was um, rebuke him. Okay, then Ashwashira Muni, he got upset. He gets upset and he curses him. So he was so angry and you are not qualified to become a sage. So I curse you to become a snake. Okay. So then Vedasiri Muni also gets very uncomfortable and also very unhappy with this curse. And then he also curses him in return. Why? Because even for a small offense, you have given such a big curse, becoming a snake. Because a snake is not an ordinary snake, a ferocious, dangerous snake. And also he also curses that Ashwashira Muni that you will be fearful of Garuda, the servant of the Lord Vishnu. So then Veda ceremony says him back that okay, for such a small offense you have given a big curse. So I'm also cursing you that you become a crow. So both the sages, out of mode of passion or ignorance, just temporarily for the sake of this pastime, they curse each other. And immediately Lord Mahavishnu appears in that place. And immediately he pacifies both the souls that okay, you both are my devotees. You both are devoted to me. Okay. So why are you behaving like this? Then after that, these two sages also feels repentful and that okay, but we have unnecessarily cursed ourselves, not cursed each other. Okay, then they request Lord to do something. Then Lord blesses them that, okay, don't worry. See, I can change my words, but I can't change the words of my devotees, particularly the Brahmins. The words will come for true for sure. If a curse is given, it cannot be taken back. They have to accept it. So that's right. Lord blesses with a ceremony that you will not become an ordinary snake. Okay, you will become a Kaliya in future. And then I will bless you with my lotus feet on your head. Okay. And then, yeah, the Ashwashira who becomes a crow, he also blesses him. That Lord also blesses him that you will become Kakabhushandi. Most of you have heard Kakabhushandi. So it's a crow. So, and Lord also blesses that you will become a great devotee of Lord Ramachandra and you will get all the knowledge, and knowledge will shine like a lamp in your brain or in your mind. Okay. So, and he also blesses him that you will recite the Ramayana to Garuda. That's why Kakabhushandi Ramayana is also, of course, not famous in ISKCON, but outside Kakabhushandi Ramayana is also very famous. That's another version. Because similar Ramayana, but little some additional points or some little variation was there. So that's the blessing given by Lord Vishnu to both the saints. Okay, this is the first prelude, first story. Okay, from Swayambhu Manmantra to coming to sixth Manmantra, Chakshisha Manmantra, with Daksha Prajapati. We all know from Srimad Bhagavatam that gives his 11 daughters to Kashyapa Muni in marriage. Okay, out of them, one of the daughter is Kadru. Her name is Kadru. She is none other than Rohini herself. Okay, because she gave, of course, the Kadru gives birth to many millions of serpents, and also the first serpent is Anantasesha, Balarama. So Rohini is the mother of Balarama. So she gives birth to many millions of serpents apart from Anantasesha. And all these serpents, I don't know the story, exact story, why she gives birth to serpents. Maybe that's a procreation Lord wants from her. So they were all decorated with jewels, and they are not only single hooded, multi hooded. Some snakes have 500 hoods, some snakes have 1,000 hoods as well. Okay, so among them, Kalia takes birth. So very simple. So Ananta Sesha, Kadru. So that's why Kali is also called Kadru Sutta, because he's the son of Kadru. So first comes Ananta Sesha, and then so many other multi-hooded snakes. And then Brahma instructs them, Ananta Sesha, to bear the Bhumandala, to support the Bhumandala, okay, on his head. Okay. And then he instructs other snakes to go to the different planets, lower planetary system, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, and Patala. So different lower planetary systems. When this Kaliya, he comes to the Bhuloka. And in the ocean, he stays in an island called Ramanaka Island. Okay. Prabhupada writes in the Krishna book as the Nagalaya Island. Okay. But in the Garga Samhita and some other places, it was mentioned that Ramanaka Island. We can accept both. Okay. Maybe it was proper to it from some other Acharya's commentary. Because Sanatana Goswami also writes it's a Ramanaka Island. Okay. In the ocean, in the Bhurloka. This is also one story. That's how Kali is staying, and he's enjoying with his wife's children, and he's enjoying having a very nice material life here in Bhurloka. Okay. Just give me a second. Hmm. Then what happens is Garuda, Garuda Dev, he comes to the material world or to come to the full planet to eat various snakes and also various fish. So he comes to this Ramanita island to eat fishes. And sometimes he eats many fishes and sometimes he kills them unnecessarily also. And what happens is all the snakes will get disturbed and they will request, headed by Vasuki, the king of the snakes. So they request Lord Brahma that to do something. So then Brahma arranges a meeting between Garuda, okay, and also other snakes. And then Brahma puts forward a request that, okay, because if we're eating so many snakes and killing so many snakes, so they are getting disturbed. So instead of that, we'll make a deal. What is that deal? So we will arrange one snake, okay, every half moon day beneath a tree with some fruits as well, okay, some other offerings as well for you to enjoy. So then Garuda also agrees to it. Okay, fine. So for their pleasure, he agrees to it. And then every half moon day, they're giving one snake as well, and they're keeping beneath the tree. And Garuda comes and he takes the snake, he eats that snake, and also other offerings as well. And one time, it is that what do you say? It's a Kalia's time. Kalia has to go and he has to be eaten by Garuda. But Kalia becomes very upset about it, and he also becomes puffed up as well. Okay, because of he gets a lot of poison. He has because he has 1,000 hoods, 1,000 hoods, and there's a lot of poison in this. So he gets very puffed up. So arrogance. So then he says that okay, and then he thinks that okay, why should I be eaten by Garuda Dev? Okay, and why should he enjoy? So why can't I enjoy? Okay. So this is the effect of the conditioned souls. We want to enjoy, we want to lord it over the material nature. Okay. So and the pride is there. Upon already a snake, he also has envy. So pride and envy. So because of the pride, what is that? He goes and he eats all the other offerings, the fruits and what are the palatable dishes which are there already for the Garuda. He eats those offerings. Then Garuda knows about it and he becomes very upset. Okay, then he immediately rushes to that place and he had a fight with Kalia. Okay, it's a very fierceful fight that Kalia tries to coil the legs of Garuda Dev and he wants to bite the wings of Garuda Dev. But Garuda Dev was so powerful because he's the carrier of Lord Vishnu, servant of Lord Vishnu. And with his beak, he catches this Kalia and he just beats him down here and there. Okay. And he wants to tear him into pieces. And then Kalia immediately realizes that, okay, Garuda is more stronger than him. So he cannot defeat him. Okay, then immediately he what does he do? Immediately he escapes. He flees from the place. And wherever he goes, Garuda obviously follow. The seven islands, wherever, um, whichever planet he go, upper planetary system, lower planetary system, wherever he go, Garuda follows him. So he cannot escape. Then immediately he approaches his brother, who is that? Anantasesha. His elder brother, right? Anantasesha. So he requests Anantasesha to do something about. Immediately, what does he do? He glorifies Anantasesha. That you are the supreme lord, you are the protector of the universe. So everything is emanating from him and all that. So, okay, Balarama says also pleases with his prayers and then with his glorification. And then he tells him that, okay, you cannot escape from Garuda because he's the servant of Lord Vishnu. But there is a way that there is a lake, okay, in the forest of Vrindavan, that there is a lake, it's called the Kali Daha. So where Garuda cannot enter. Okay, where Garuda cannot enter into that lake. So if you go there and if you hide, sir, Garuda cannot enter that. So you can be saved from Garuda infestation. So immediately, um, Kalia, along with his family and everything, he immediately goes to that place called Kaliadaha in forest of Vrindavan. So this lake, it's a description also given in the Garga Samhita as well. Is of 1 yojana width. Okay, see, there's a flow of river, Yamuna River. So in that 1 yojana of that river is a small lake to a side because it's just separate from the flowing water of Yamuna. Okay, that's why full Yamuna cannot be poisoned. This place is poisoned because Kalia staying there. Okay, and there is one more prelude to this story why Garuda Dev cannot enter here. Because this also explained by yeah Sukdev Goswami in the 17th chapter of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So particularly Kaliya Pasam is mentioned in 10th canto, 16th chapter, and 17th chapter the prelude was given. Okay, why Garuda cannot enter the Kaliya Daha lake and why Garuda stayed there. So it's simple. In that lake, many ancient years back, with that Sobari Muni is staying there and he's doing some austerities under deep water because he doesn't want to get disturbed by other people. So And one time, what happens is he just sees the two fishes are mating, and he gets disturbed by that. Okay, and immediately he gets attracted, and he also wants to enjoy household life. This pastime is also given in ninth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, when the dynasty of King Mandanta is being described in the ninth canto, in the Ikshvaku dynasty, this pastime is also mentioned there. And Sukadeva Goswami again repeats it here again in this 10th canto as well. So immediately Sobari Muni goes to the king, Mandata. So he has 100 daughters. Okay, and then the king cannot deny his request as well. He requests, Sobari Muni requests that I want to marry your daughters. I want to marry your 100 daughters. Sorry, no. He requests the king Mandata that to give at least only one daughter in marriage. I want to enter the household life. So Sobari Muni, because of thousands of years of austerity, underwater, his skin is very skinny, okay, very folded, very ugly. Huh? So no daughter, nobody is interested to marry him as well. And every daughter is reluctant to marry him. Then he openly says the king, because if he denies his request, then he will be get cursed by Sobari Muni. So then the king tells that, okay, I will arrange a swayamvara. So any one of my daughter can select him. Then Sobari understands the tactic of the king Mandata. Okay, he knows that nobody will get attracted to him and nobody will marry him. Then immediately, out of his mystic powers, he turns himself into a handsome young man, like a Gandharva. Then all the 100 daughters get attracted to Sobari and they all want to marry him at a time, and they were fighting within themselves. So King Mandata says that, okay, you marry all the 100 daughters. Okay, so before this story, why did he entered into the household life? Why did he fell down? Just why did he get disturbed by two fishes mating? Because Garuda, when visits the Ramanaka island to eat the snakes, in a similar way, he also visits this lake in the Yamuna to eat the fishes. And Sobramin is getting disturbed by the arrival of Garuda because fishes move here and there to escape from Garuda. And then he wants to show some compassion on the fishes. Okay. And then what happens is he immediately first he instructs that, okay, Garuda, don't come to this place again. Okay, and don't disturb these fishes. Okay, Garuda doesn't mind at all initially. And then what he wants to do is he wants to take at least one fish while he was leaving. And immediately he catches one fish. That fish is the head of all the fishes. And all the fishes gets immediately disturbed. And Sobharimuni also gets angry. And immediately he curses um, Garuda that if at all, if you visit this place again, in this lake again, then immediately you will die. So it's also mentioned in the slide as well. All the forbidden by Sober Muni, Garuda took courage, feeling hungry, seized the fish in the lake. Seeing unfortunate situation of the fishes, Sober Muni uttered the curse. So, and here Sober Muni committed three offenses. One is he dared to give order to the superior. It's also important lesson for us. We should never give orders to the superiors, particularly in the devotion life. And then he obstructed happiness of Garuda, who is also servant of Lord Vishnu, because it's his nature to eat fishes and snakes, being a bird. And he cursed Garuda. So Vishnu Thakur also says, if one's compassion does not tally with Supreme Lord's desire, it merely creates chaos. So here Garuda didn't curse the Sobari Muni back. Okay, he just followed the etiquette. And because of these offenses by Sobari Muni, he lost all his tapobala, and because of material attachment, he initially had compassion to those fishes, but by those fishes, they are the cause for him to fall down from his austerities. So Kalia came to know of this curse from Ananta Sesha and he entered the world. Okay, this is the whole prelude story from the Garga Samhita. Okay, let's enter the main pastime. Okay, we are in 10th canto, 15th chapter. Krishna just killed Dhenukasura. Okay. After killing Dhenukasura, okay, they all collected Talvan fruits and then they are enjoying and relishing them. They returned back to the Vrindavan. Okay. And they were having a peaceful life. One time, what happened is Krishna wants to go out with his friends for grazing the cows and also calves, maybe calves, because Krishna is only 5 to 6 years old at this age when this pastime is happened. 5 to 6 years old because this pastime happened before Govardhan pastime, so less than 7 years. Acharya say around 5 to 6 years boy. So and then and that day Balaram is not there because it happened to be Balram Krishna Chakra Thakur, right? It happened to be Balram's birthday on that day, and Rohini Mata is decorating him nicely with say, various garments, okay, and also jewels. So on that day, Krishna went along with his cohort boys, and then they all felt very thirsty, and it's a summer season, so they all felt very thirsty, and immediately they saw this place where usually the lake or the shore of any lake or river is usually lustful and greenful, but this lake is not greenful. Everything is dried. Okay, because everything is dead, no fishes, and even they noticed that uh, the lake. I mean, even a bird flying over that lake also as well. Even as soon as it inhaled the vapors of that lake, it fell down and died. But out of curiosity, and by the um, yoga maya of Krishna, because Krishna wants to perform the pastime. Krishna all knows that there is a Kaliya pastime, and he wants to purify Yamuna because he wants to chase away the Kaliya pastime. Okay. Of course, Kali is staying in that like in a deep water in his palace along with his family and wives and children. And so, out of inquisitiveness, these cowherd boys they went and they drank water. Immediately, what happened? They fell lifeless. They fell apparently dead. Acharya says apparently dead. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says that of course nobody can kill cowherd boys at least in presence of Krishna, right? So, by the presence of Yoga Maya, she just covered the life airs of these cowherd boys. So they apparently did, they felt unconscious. And immediately what is this? Krishna, out of his own desire, he can just awaken them. But he just glanced at the cowherd boys because it's a shower of nectar. Even when we go to the temple, so we try to have, it's not that we are also seeing the Lord. No, Lord also sees his eyes and he gives his glance on us. That he gives his mercy through his glance. So that's why we should visit the temple and to have the darshan of the Lord. Okay. And then immediately boys regained the consciousness. And then boys looked at each other with astonishment. They had died, but by glance of Gunda, they were brought back to life. So how could they able to understand that? Because they're first class devotees, and they also remember the Garga Muni's prophecy that Krishna is not an ordinary boy; he's a supreme personality of Godhead, and he can do any miracle. So obviously they sense that okay, Krishna is our only savior, and he through his glance only we all brought back to our life. Are you all with me, Madrapati Prabhu? Does it make sense to you?
Yes, Prabhu, we are all with you, Prabhu.
Oh, okay. Just a
Yeah.
minute. Yeah. So these are 10th canto 16th chapter. These are all the contents. Lord Krishna, Sarvesvara, and Kalya. Okay. These are all the contents. We'll complete one by one. So here Sukadeva Goswami is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. He described the Dhenukastra pastime. And then he just mentioned that he banished Kalya from Yamuna with the desire to purify Yamuna. Okay. So then Parikshit inquired, okay, how it was that Kalya had been living there for so many ages. And he's so enthusiastic to hear more and more because more and more pastimes of Lord Krishna. There's a beautiful verse from the 10th canto, the third chapter, 10th canto, 16th chapter, third verse. Brahman Bhagavatastasya Bhumna Sachandavartinaha Gopalodara Charitam Kastrupte Amritashusham. O Brahmana, the unlimited Lord, freely acts according to his own desires. Who could be satiated hearing the nectar of Gopala's magnanimous pastimes? So this is a verse spoken by Parikshit Maharaj to Sukadeva Goswami. Because he is not tired. He wants to hear more and more. Please describe about that pastime. Okay. Then Sukadeva Goswami starts speaking. So this poison was so powerful that it boiled the waters and vapors emanating from them. So simply by coming in contact with poisonous beast, all the vegetation and creatures on the shore, they died. I already described all this. And then, yeah, Krishna wants to kill this or chastise this Kaliya. So immediately what does he do? Immediately he saw a very nice, lushful green tree which is lying there. Okay, it's a Kadamba tree. So some Acharya says that okay, when Krishna touched the tree, it became alive. But some Acharyas comment that when Garuda was drinking nectar, and he can also foresee that okay, in future Krishna will come and perform pastime. So he drops a little bit of nectar on the tree. So that's why only one tree stays green and fresh. So and then Krishna climbed on the top of the tree, and then yeah, he did like a wrestler, just he tied his belt and he adjusted arms, and immediately he entered into the center of the lake. And Krishna became usually Krishna is very small boy, 5 years, but became so heavy, and he was swimming like a elephant, strong elephant in the lake, and he made a tumultuous sound so that he just wants to grab the attention of Kalia. And then immediately Kalia realized that okay, somebody is here in my lake, so they want, and they made such a sound that uh, so they want to grab my property, they want to disturb me. And immediately Kalia comes outside. Immediately, what does he do? Immediately he try with his coils he tries to bind the Krishna. In the previous slide we have seen, right? He binds the Krishna, and Krishna seems apparently to be felt unconscious, or apparently looks like that he's going to be vanquished by the serpent Kalia. So Sridhar Goswami describes the emotions of various devotees who are lying there. Immediately, the news started spreading from the cowherd boys, okay, who regained their consciousness. The news reached the other residents of Vrindavan, inhabitants of Vrindavan. They all started coming. Even Nanda Maharaja, Yashodamaya, they all came to the news. Even Balaram also got the news. So they all came to the Kalyadaha's lake. How did they come? They just follow the footprints of the Krishna, because those footprints have the marks, flag, you know, conch, lotus flower. So you might be, Sudanand Maharaj says, so how come that the footprints of Krishna was not at all uh, vanished from the soil of Vrindavan? So because Krishna also has 9 lakhs cows and so many other people are there who walks and they can easily remove those footprints, right? They just get pressed and they just go vanish. But it didn't happen because even the 9 lakhs cows and all the inhabitants of Vrindavan, they honored the footprints of Lord Krishna so that they can know where Krishna went. Okay? And then they follow these footprints and they reach. And yeah, these are the different emotions. The cowherd men and boys, their intelligence becomes deranged by grief, lamentation, and fear, fell unconscious. The bulls, cows, and calves, they can't talk, okay? They were just crying. Okay, they still stood still in fear, fixing their eyes on the Krishna. And demigods they experienced 3 types of fearful omens from Bhavi, Divi, and Atman. So there were inauspicious omens in the sky. What is that? First one is Bhuvi, earth started trembling. Divi, meteors fell from the sky. And Atmani, and the left side of the men is shaking, twitching. Now, usually we see right, left eye is twitching, right eye is twitching, is auspicious, inauspicious, this data. Okay, Rajavasis, they become fearful at omens. They thought that Lord had met with their death and overcome with grief. And Balarama, okay, let's come to Balarama later. Rajavasis, they were with anguish and confusion. And Gopis, they remembered his friendship, smiling glances, and talks with them, burning with sorrow. They all remember the Krishna's pastimes. They're all remembering it okay, because that's their only relief. And elderly gopis, so they were like corpses holding Yashoda from entering the lake. And they started reciting the pastimes of Krishna to Mother Yashoda to keep her alive. Okay. And then here Balarama is there and he just smiled. So Acharya writes 3 reasons why he smiled. One thing is that to give hope to others who are all crying. Okay. Second, remembered Kalia as his form of Sesha, right? He's his brother, Kalia, because they all are sons of Kadru. And he knew the extraordinary power of Krishna and nobody can harm Krishna. And also, there's one more reason mentioned in the Karika Samhita that he doesn't want to cover the mood of Krishna there because Krishna wants to give pain. So, what is that Prabhuji? Why Krishna wants to give pain to his devotees? Because pain increases the love between Krishna and the poet gods, right? Love of separation, Sambhoga and Vipralamba. Vipralamba is highest. It's love in separation because the pain obviously increases the affection for Krishna. For example, a mother has a child, right? So whenever he's in home, so she feels okay, normal way. Okay, he's playing here and there. Sometimes she chastises, she rebukes him, okay, and sometimes she cares for him. And then when he met with an accident, he got admitted in a hospital. then how much the affection increases because her child is suffering. Here also the same way. When Krishna is suffering, Krishna wants to increase the love. And also this pastime lasted for 2 hours. All were in agony. And Krishna, why he wait for 2 hours? Because he was waiting for one important person. Who is that? Can anybody answer? Madhurapati Prabhu, do you know who is that person that Krishna is waiting for?
Sorry, Prabhu.
Any fluke guess from any audience? He was waiting for one person. That's why he lasted for 2 hours this past time.
Some
Okay.
pure-hearted bhakti.
Pure-hearted bhakti.
Yes.
Okay, he was waiting for one person, probably, Praveen Prabhu.
Okay. Thank you.
One devotee. That's Srimati Radharani. Okay, she was also little girl in Barsana. Okay, because
Okay.
Krishna
Okay.
wants to
Got
show
it.
his power to Srimati Radharani by killing the demons so that he can attract attract her. He can win over her. Okay, to all the gopis, he also wants to show his power, Krishna. That's why so that they can get attracted to him. Then immediately what happened when Srimati Radharani appeared and all other were there, then immediately when their life is at the verge of death, when they all were able to leave their bodies, then Krishna expanded himself. Okay. And then he expanded so much that Krishna Kalia was unable to hold it. And then he immediately let go of Krishna. Okay, he lose his voice. And then Krishna started dancing on the hoods of Kalia. And he was smashing and dancing. Okay. And then from the mouths of Kalia, the poison is coming out. Okay. And Acharya has also explained that about this dance. This dance is so wonderful because usually we dance on a firm ground, right? But here Krishna is dancing not on a firm ground. It's a moving ground on the hoods of Kalia. He's moving this side, he's all the hoods, and he was dancing on one hood or one. He's moving from one hood to another, one hood to another. Okay, and they are just moving, but he was still stepping on them, and he was also playing Saptaswaras. Okay, the 7 notes of sound he's playing, and he will bring sounds of flute, he will bring making sounds of drums, kettles, all other things, all the sounds by through his dance. And in the same time, the denizens came. Okay, from the demigods came from the spirit, from the heavenly planets. They also showering flowers on him. They were also playing the drums, various kinds of musical instruments. So everything dance of Krishna. He's dancing like a Nataraja. Even Krishna Chakravarti says the poison emanating from the Kalia is also like a flower offerings to Krishna. Krishna Chakravarti always writes the internal meanings of these pastimes. Okay, and he was smashing all the hoods of Krishna. When the Kalia tried to catch hold of Krishna, but Krishna's hand, the left hand, that way, Krishna is beating with his right hand. So like that, there's nice pastime is going on. And finally, Krishna roams in the Kalia in circles, in the lake in the circles, and Kalia tries to catch him, and immediately he gets fatigued. Okay, he will not be able to catch Lord Krishna. Okay, and then and because of this, after Krishna stepping on his roots, poison came out, and then blood started coming out. He was able to live his life, and then he becomes humble, and he realizes that okay, I cannot beat Krishna. He is the supreme personality of Godhead. And then his wives of Kalia, they seem fatigued and they and approach Krishna with their young children. Okay, I'm going to finish in 5 minutes. I'm so sorry because initially we had a 5 minutes delay. And then here Acharya is also right. Uh, Initially, Nagapatnis thought that okay, see here one thing I want to mention, dear devotees. Nagapatnis are already devotees of Krishna, and they implanted the seed of bhakti in the Kaliya also. But because of his pride and envy, he he never listened to them. And of course, the seed of bhakti didn't sprout. Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva, Guru Krishna Prasade Paye, Bhakti Lata Bija. Okay. It is very rare soul gets the seed of bhakti from the association of devotees or from the spiritual master. Okay. But here it didn't sprout because of his pride and envy. So very, very important lesson for us. We should never have pride and envy in the devotion life. Otherwise, our bhakti will not sprout like in Kali. Okay, and this Nagapatnis, they are initially they thought that okay, my our husband is very envious and very cruel, very dangerous, very ferocious. Okay, let him be killed by Krishna. And then later they realized that okay, he become humbled and surrendered to Krishna. Okay, let us pray to save our husband on behalf of um, him. And we want to, and they placed the children before Krishna and they all started praying. So there are various prayers, wonderful prayers by Patnis. Just I mentioned a few things in the slide. So the punishment is just for his ultimate benefit, and your punishment is mercy. Okay, and nothing is better than to attain the dust of your lotus feet. Although he is born in mode of ignorance, he achieved the impossible. So then Krishna is asking, and they are telling, yeah, though no reason to get involved, still you have to attain creation, maintenance, and extension. Then Krishna asks, what is the intention of your praises? That all you please protect those in the modes of material nature. Please tolerate the offenses of Kaliya. At least once, master must tolerate the offenses of his disciples. So please be merciful and spare our husband. Then Krishna gives the final order. Okay. He gives mercy on Kaliya, but he orders him that Kaliya has to leave. Even though Kaliya had got reformed, but there is no place for this kind of devotees in the church. It is only for pure devotees who are in uh, Bhava Bhakti or Prema Bhakti. So Kaliya cannot stay there. And then Kaliya also gradually regained his consciousness and also vital force. And then he starts praying. Okay, by birth I am envious. It is equal to give up that conditional nature. So by nature I am angry. How can I overcome Maya on my own? So please arrange for us whatever you consider proper, whether it be your mercy or punishment. Then Bhagwan replies, okay, you may not remain here any longer. Go back to the ocean immediately, the Ramanaka island where you came from. There. So let this river be enjoyed by the cows and humans. Then Krishna also gives the Falasruti here at the end. Those who remembers my command to you at sunset and sunrise will never be afraid of you. And also, yeah, one will be free of all sinful reaction if one bathes in this place, offers water to demigods, observes fasts, duly worships and remembers me in this Kaliya the heart place. Even that's why we all devotees go there. Whenever we go there, we should also take bath. And you need not fear Garuda because I have placed my footprints on your foot. So then Kaliya became devotee. Garuda also felt satisfied, and Yamuna river was restrained. So here Kaliya represents Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in Chaitanya Charitamrita. For each demon he writes the total cruelty and treachery, pour poison into the residence of Rajavasis, rumor mongers. The chastisement of Kaliya removes pride, cheating, cruelty, harming others, and the absence of compassion to other living entities. Okay, it all goes away when we worship Krishna. So Chaitanya Charitamrita also says that this Kaliyadaha lake is like our heart. Okay, and this Kaliya snake is like all the impurities in our heart, mainly the false ego and also pride and envy. Okay, when we by chanting the holy name of the Lord but bhakti, okay, when Krishna enters our heart, then he will chastise because false ego cannot be removed in total, okay, but it can be subdued. It can become true ego because ego is always there in the jiva. That's Krishna. Yeah, that's why we should always, by chanting the holy name of the Lord, so we should always enable Krishna to enter our heart. There's a beautiful verse in Srimad Bhagavatam from Brahma space. Ravista Kannarambrena Swana Bhava Satyam. Do know the Samlam Krishna Srilasya Dasara. Just like in the rainy season, the mud water is removed because of the fresh rainy water. In the same way, when Krishna enters through our ears into the heart, he'll remove all the impurities in our heart. My audition is faster. Yes, the last section I want to cover Krishna's reunion with the Brajvasis. So Krishna rose up out of the lake wearing. Yeah, here one more point here, devotees. The Nagpatnis before leaving, they decorated Krishna with nice, beautiful flowers, yellow garments, different jewels, because they all have so much jewels in their palace. So they went and they bought. Randan Maharaj says that Krishna intentionally left his Kaustuba jewel in the lake. So Kalia, before leaving, he goes inside and he finds the Kaustuba jewel and he brings it back to Krishna as an offering to Krishna. Okay, it was nicely decorated with sandalwood, pearl, various jewels, and every various offerings as well. And Krishna returns all with them. So everybody feels very blissful because when they saw Krishna in such a nice, uh, beautiful garments and jewels, and again he was all like blissful. So everybody embraced, laughed. Even Lord Balarama, Nanda Maharaja, Yashodamaya, all the gopis, everybody embraced Krishna. And in response, Mother Yashoda gave charity of brahmanas, many cows, and also a lot of wealth to the brahmanas. Even Nanda Maharaj also gave. And Yashoda cried torrents of tears repeatedly, embracing Krishna. And finally, it's a text from Sri Krishna Samhita. కలతా దాస్ మే లక్ష్య కాళీయ సర్పరూపకే సంప్రదాయ విరోధోయం భావనాలో విచింతియో. Pride, deceit, harming others, cruelty represented by Kaliya must be given up by the devotee. Kaliya's envy always pollutes the water of Yamuna, which is a spiritual liquid of the Vaishnavas. Spiritual liquid means you can say bhakti, the ocean of bhakti. It is everyone's duty to give up this 10th obstacle. 10th obstacle means having the material attachments. Even after chanting the holy name, also they are still having the material attachments. So we should always give this up. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's all from my side. Thank you so much. So if there are any questions or reflections or comments, they're most welcome. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So, thank you so much, Prabhu, for depth into Kaliya's pastime. How Kaliya, like you mentioned that Ashwashira Muni, he became Kaliya. And these both Munis,
Actually, Vedasira Muni, Prabhu. Vedasira Muni became Kaliya.
Kaliya. And
Yeah.
Ashwashira
Ashwashira
Muni
became
became a
Crow.
crow,
Kakabhushan.
Kakabhushan. So how they both cursed each other. Then Lord
Yeah.
appeared and says, "You are my devotees. Then why do you fight among yourself?" And this is a
Yes.
lesson for us also to be united, being grand disciples of Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj direct disciples we are. And
Yes.
we should learn that should also be very cooperative, unite, exchange loving relationships, tadati pratigranati, and stand for the vision of our Guru Maharaj. So there are a lot more things to learn, and we have so many other participants also. I will leave it for them if they would like to share. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Others, please come on the video and share your realization.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Prabhu, actually the past time, every time we used to listen only to the Kaliya past time. This time it was really very new for us that we came to know who was exactly Kaliya in his previous birth and what was the past time, Prabhu. And that was really very nice. Thank you, Prabhu. And today's takeaway point from this is never give orders to the superiors. That one point, yes, we need to note that point, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
thank you so much for sharing.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
In this
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. In this, you told that because of pride, the seed of bhakti did not sprout
Yes.
in Kaliya. All false ego, envy, everything was there in him. So because of that, nothing would, bhakti couldn't flourish in him.
Yes. Even though he was in the association of his wives who were devotees of the Lord, but still the pride is so dangerous. False ego and also the envy.
Yes, yes.
Snakes usually represent envy. Yes, Prabhu.
These
Thank
are,
you so much, Mataji. Any other devotees? Is there Asha Mataji here, Prabhu? I don't know. I forgot the Diksha's initiated name.
yeah, Adi Sachimata Devidasi. Her initiated name is Adi
Oh, okay.
Sachimata Devidasi, and always Mataji glorifies you. She talks about you, and they
I
are
know.
in
I remember both Mataji and Marani Mataji. They both came here to Tirupati. We had a nice association.
yeah. So they are in a Kirtan program now. They're
Okay,
pitching
no
some
issue.
contacts. So that's why they could
No
not
issue,
join.
Prabhu. No issue.
Okay. So you have nicely also mentioned so many other key points like Nagapatnis, they are already devotees. But as you mentioned, mm, like it's not easy to become a devotee of the Lord.
Yes.
So though that's why wives could not able to preach him because he has got that pride. I am this.
Yes, Prabhu.
Nobody can do anything. So that pride, deceitful mentality, harming others, and cruelty for, especially to the devotees, being in Yamuna, and he exhibited his poison to Gopabhais. And the
Yes.
very secrets today we got revealed by you, like that Gopabhais, Kalia thinks that, he had killed them with her poison, but it was
Yes.
not so. So
No.
Krishna putting her into
Yeah.
Maya.
Never mind. Never
Uh,
mind. She was.
so how can we, the Gopa boys, be killed by others when Krishna is there?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, very nice. And the fight between Garuda and Kaliya, and
Yes.
Kaliya goes to, Adishesha and glorifies him, and Adishesha advises to go to the, enter into the Damanaka, right, Prabhu? Damanaka river.
Yeah. No, no, no. This he advises him to go to this Karyadaha lake,
Ah,
so and to go and hide there.
so,
Ramanaka Island is the place where he usually lives. Kalia.
hmm, hmm. You also mentioned it is not exactly part of the Yamuna, but it's a separate lake.
Yeah, that is the Kalyadaha. Kalyadaha only I'm talking about, Roji.
Ah,
So see, Ramanaka Island is an island in the ocean.
hmm, hmm,
Okay, maybe which ocean we don't know. Like Pacific Ocean or the Indian Ocean, anywhere. So and he was staying there, and then Anantashesh advised him that we go and hide in the Kalyadaha lake, in the forest of Vrindavan, in the
hmm,
Yamuna. So this lake is little, it's like it's a part of Yamuna, but little
hmm,
separated from Yamuna because Yamuna is always flowing, right, Rosie?
hmm,
So it
hmm.
will not disturb the flow.
Okay. So like that, we got so much secrets got revealed. We are really thrilled today, and so many
I'm
takeaway
also
points.
delighted, Rosie, because of this class. I also came to some new points. I don't know the past life of Kalia.
Uh,
I just explored, and I just found that okay, excellent. This is the prelude to this story.
can you stop your screen share so that we can have your version?
Yeah, 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 sure.